Alright class, well it's a new week and it's April 1st through the 6th and we are talking about information literacy and copyright. And just as a reminder, I introduced this assignment last time, Universal Design for Learning Plan. Might have been 2 videos ago, a couple weeks ago, so you can find those videos earlier. But don't forget to submit this by the end of this week, the Universal Design for Learning Plan. It requires you to take a lesson, redesign it to add Universal Design for Learning with technology, and then try that out in your class or with a group of students. And again, if you don't have access to a group of students or a class, then you'll need to add a one-page paper on Universal Design for Learning. But the details for that were presented elsewhere. So don't forget to submit that by April 6th this week. But this week we're learning about some different things, shifting gears, so to speak, to information literacy and copyright. So I've got some links to information seeking resources, and you'll take a look at those, make sure that you understand maybe some possible resources that you might have your students go to learn from. And then there are a couple of presentations about information seeking and developing information seeking projects. So these are the kinds of projects that require students to take the time to find information and then use that information in some useful way, whether that's to create their own paper or their own presentation or their own storybook or whatever it is. So those are some guidelines for that. You'll also read Chapter 2, and then there are some readings as we shift gears to talk about copyright. So these readings will introduce you to copyright as an important part of your knowledge as an educator to understand copyright. And so these actually give you some pretty good overviews of fair use, because in education we have the option to use materials more than someone else could. And so fair use, what are the limits, what are the things that you should look for in fair use? So those will introduce you to some of those concepts. You'll want to pay attention to those concepts because I'll show you an assignment that will come up a little bit later. And there is a tech talk this week on XtraMath, and so it's good to have that presentation created from Eric about what XtraMath can do, and it's a nice educational tool. And then also, in light of the fact that everything is copyrighted, there is this movement called Open Educational Resources, or Open Education. And what it basically means is that things are not copyrighted, that you can create something, let's say, and you can put it out there for anyone to use and anyone to adapt or edit or do anything with. And people have done this because they don't like the fact that copyright's always so closed for everybody, and they want people like educators to be able to use their materials. So you can find open educational materials, and this gives you kind of an overview of how to find those that are open for you to use for all kinds of things, for projects, for things that you might make money on, and for classroom activities and presentations. And then we have copyright-free resources, and there's a nice open license media website on our class website that gives you links to finding these types of open educational resources or open media resources on sites like Unsplash, Pixabay, Video, and so forth. There's a whole bunch of different types of media resources that you can find that are licensed so that anyone can use them at any time and not have to cite or worry about copyright. And then finally, again, like I mentioned, don't forget to submit the Universal Design for Learning Plan this week. Now next week, just looking ahead a little bit, the discussion is going to be more than a discussion, so that's why I want to make sure that I introduce it this week. It is a copyright poster. So you are going to create a poster or flyer, yeah, I guess I should call it a copyright poster or flyer, that informs your audience about copyright and or fair use for their specific situation. So you can choose different audiences. You can choose K-12 school teachers and or students in a high school digital media class, students in a basic elementary classroom, students in a middle school digital media class, and students any age working on a written paper with references, or business e-learning department professional or personnel. So your job is to pick an audience, then create a poster that informs the audience about what they can and cannot do with certain resources on the internet according to copyright law. And this information is found in your readings on copyright and fair use, as well as copyright.gov. So again, you're going to do more readings next week about this, but you'll want to kind of take note about what you can and can't do with certain resources that you find online. And that will help you to create this flyer or poster. And you're going to post this on the discussion board and let other people see it. And then comment on 2 other students' posters, or again, it can be a flyer as well if you want to add more information in sort of a flyer format. So that's what you're going to do, and depending on your audience, for instance, if you choose students in a basic elementary classroom, you might want to talk to them about some of the copyright basics that maybe they can't just copy and grab an image from the internet and then use that in their presentation and try to make money off of it or that kind of a thing. Maybe they should be thinking about some of these open educational resources that they could use for this type of project or for a project. So to create this poster or flyer, you can use Adobe Spark for Education, Poster My Wall, Canva is a great one for creating posters online. So those are some of the tools that you can choose from to use, but you're going to need to give yourself a little time to do this project because it's going to take more than just a regular discussion post where you just type a paragraph about things. So I wanted to make you aware of that a week early, that way you can plan for it. As you study about copyright, you can plan on thinking about the things that you might say in your poster or flyer to your audience. Alright, well, I think that's everything for this week, so have a great week, and we'll catch you later.